All right, welcome to the Two Broke Gamers podcast. This is the second part. I'm Rick.
I'm Steve.
So we want to talk about a game specifically because I don't know if it kind of talks about how gaming has turned out today, which is The Order 1886. Now, this game looked really nice. It's been hyped since E3 of last year, I believe, or maybe the year before that. I don't even remember, but I know it was the hype for a very long time. And then it started like hitting the presses a lot harder with commercials and everything else. And it was funny because I remember when about the time we were off. I know it was that was about the time that The Order was supposed to come out. And the commercials that were coming out for were suspiciously about one single thing about the game, which kind of made me worry.
Which we talked about this in the other part we just did a little while ago.
Yeah.
Of the graphics.
Yes.
In a world of graphically dominated games, all these ads were like, the graphics are great, the graphics are fantastic, the best graphics you'll ever see.
Well, what about the gameplay?
Right. What about the gameplay? That's what I play games for. I don't know about you.
Yeah. Now, it was funny because somebody actually got an early release of that game, leaked it on YouTube, and just basically put a Let's Play video out there. And this person had played the game and beat it in about 5 hours. And it's kind of like, and that really upset a lot of people.
Game.
Yes, it's a very short game. And people really felt like they weren't going to waste their money and buy this game because why? Why am I going to spend like $60 in a game that's only going to be worth me playing 5 hours? This is crap. But I mean, it became a pretty hot seller.
Yeah, for whatever reason. Everyone knew this was going to be a short game, but the graphics are great.
Well, you know what it is? It made me realize maybe the people who are the gamers, who are the ones who talk about the games, or who watch videos on YouTube of other people talking about it, or who listen to podcasts, or that read the articles on gaming websites and all this stuff, and they're just a small minority because they're the ones that keep track of these games. And meanwhile, there's other people who just kind of like, oh, that game is cool on a commercial. I should just go get it at my GameStop today. You know,
maybe.
Like I think there might be more of those. It kind of reminds me of like the movies, where there's a movie that's absolute crap that's coming out.
Yes.
And yet all of a sudden it's the number one movie in America. And it's like, what?
How?
Why?
Why? Yeah,
Why
exactly.
is this? What are we doing? And I felt like The Order kind of falls into that because, I mean, I was talking to one of my friends about this. I told him that there was a frame rate difference because they wanted to make it look like a movie. So they decided to have the gameplay play at 24 frames per second, which is about like an average like movie like thing. And it looks nice. It has a nice look to it. But when I was telling my friend, I was like, "Oh, why the hell? It's a game. I don't care about that. I want 60 frames. I want max specs.
I want to enjoy the game."
Yeah, and a lot of people really felt indifferent about it. But what does that say about gaming now? That is it really just the nicest looking game will sell and the big titles will sell and that's it? I mean,
this goes back to what we were just talking about before with Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo games don't look all that nice, but they might be better quality. But obviously, look who's hurting right now, Nintendo.
Yeah.
So this Order 1886, they're doing it right, I guess. They're doing it right by doing it wrong.
Yeah, I guess so. Now
or backwards.
Yeah, and it's crazy because the only experience that I have with a short game that I thought was much longer and I kind of felt shit, but then not really, was Resident Evil 2. Because I don't play a lot of I haven't played a lot of like good games or short games in a very long time. I played a bunch of games. Games that I felt were long, maybe too long, and games that I can play for infinity because it's just the replay value, which is ridiculous. But when it came to Resident Evil, I actually thought when I beat the game, I was halfway through the game. That's how short the game was.
Yeah.
Because I didn't play it when it first came out. I waited a couple of years because I wasn't able to get a PlayStation 1 because that's when it came out at the time, and I actually got it for N64.
Yeah.
And I played it, and I remember when I beat it, and there was like a cutscene, and they were talking, and they were on a train, and they were going. Like, I don't even want to really spoil it. But, and I remember thinking, oh man, this is going to be hype. Like, I can't wait to see what happens next. And then the credits come up. I'm like, what the hell was that?
What is that? What's going on? Yeah, that's short game.
Yeah, and it's just like, I mean.
It was leading up to a sequel.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but I was like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how The Order ends. Maybe there's a sequel to it. But even though it doesn't excuse you just kind of, making a short game and trying to make a buck off of it either.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it was supposed to be a movie anyway, but then again, look at what Naughty Dog's done with Uncharted. Uncharted was basically, I mean, I only played a short moment of the game, but that moment was basically filled with like 15 minutes of cutscenes. And I'm like, am I watching a movie or playing a game? Like, what am I doing right now?
Yeah, I like cutscenes, but I don't like too many cutscenes. I don't like cutscenes being too long.
Yep.
I like a nice 2-minute cutscene of like I get to take a break from the game for a minute and watch this really cool scene in front of me.
Yeah.
And it'll tell the story a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just jump right into the story.
Yeah.
I don't like watching the game play in front of me without me doing anything.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know if you have any stories about short games or games that shorted you.
I kind of felt like Portal 2 because I got it the day. I know you don't want you hate.
I love that
you hate
game.
when I talk
I
about
love
this.
that game though.
You hate when I talk about it, but Portal 2 to me, the actual story of Portal 2 was not that long for the $60 I paid for it. And like after I bought it on release day, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks later, it was chopped to half price.
That
and
sucks.
I got a little salty about that.
That sucks.
But
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, I don't know. It's just like to me the story was not long enough. But then you also take into account that there was some multiplayer stuff that I didn't take part in the multiplayer.
Yeah, I haven't played it.
So I guess that's why I felt a little gypped on it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure people who played the multiplayer it's like, oh, this is worth $60, kind of, maybe $50, maybe, I don't know. But to me, Portal 2 was definitely there.
I always felt that it was worth the money. I didn't get it when it first came out, I'm not going to lie to you, but I would have loved to have spent $60 in the game anyway. I felt like it was really like a very bang for my buck because I love the fact of how the storyline was progressing, how basically you went down the pit to the bottom of Aperture's laboratories, and Aperture Science, I guess. But once you're on the bottom, you're basically working your way up through a timeline. So going up every level was telling you the storyline of when, 1950, 1960, all that. And I really liked how that played out.
The story was good.
Yeah.
I liked the story. It was too short.
Yeah, I felt like the story paid for itself. I felt like it was really well written. Little Easter eggs of the Oscar-winning J.K. Simmons. His voice is in the game, yes, pre-Oscar days, but he added a lot of character to that game too as the overvoice. That wasn't GLaDOS, of course, but the game I felt was really good. But I don't think of any other game that would have shorted me, except for maybe Mario Kart 8. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that game. I remember when I beat it, I was like, oh okay. This online's getting kind of stale too, because when I compare it to Mario Kart Wii, the online, I would play that forever. It would be the same courses all the time. I still love playing it.
But now that I don't know. To me, playing Mario Kart Wii was just fun in general.
Yeah.
I had fun even with the computers or with my friends, or whatever.
Yeah.
I haven't even played Mario Kart 8 yet, so I can't put my 2 cents in on this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the hover cart thing going on.
It was a nice concept. It's really cool. The game looks beautiful. Don't get me wrong.
I'll definitely try it out at some point.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten a chance to play it.
Yeah. I mean, online it's just kind of wonky just because the items are all messed up. And really, you have to know people and get into a room or get into a certain like tournament room where it's like frantic and you could really have fun. Yeah. Because the basic game by itself, it's okay. Like Mario Kart 8, playing it online, it's best to play it with like people or just frantic with like random tournaments because, I mean, it gets really stale really quickly, and plus, like, it's really hard to get back in first place once you get knocked out. It really is. Mario Kart Wii, you had a chance to come back into at least the top 3, or you get in first place almost like immediately, or at least get back to the top.
Yeah.
In Mario Kart 8, once you're in first place and you get knocked down to 7th in a second, no matter what, unless you're like really good and you can like fire hop and stuff, it's really tough for a lot of people to get back into first place. And a lot of times it just doesn't work out. A lot of the other times it's just people who are fire hopping and they just stay in first place and they get lucky that way. But I mean, it wasn't like that before. But it's weird, but I always felt like I got chipped because once I finished the game, it was like there's no multiplayer because that multiplayer sucks. People are still waiting for a DLC of the multiplayer for Mario Kart 8, by the way. And it's never gonna come, probably. It's just new tracks and that's it. You're not gonna get any battle tracks anymore. Like that sucks. But in all honesty, I just feel like where are the games right now? I mean, is this what it's gonna be? Just short games with all the tons of graphics? Look at Xenoblade, the new one, where it's gonna be hundreds of hours of gameplay, and it's like, okay, is that gonna be worth it now? Especially for the graphics that they are. Some people actually hate it because they think the characters look dumb, and I'm like, I mean, is that how we play games now? We can't play games.
That's the graphics. The graphics rule all.
But you're not looking at their face. If you're looking at the game in third person, you're looking at their back. What does it matter that their face looks stupid? Like, I don't get that. I mean, maybe granted there's a cutscene and then they're like herb derp and it's like derp you too. It's like that type of thing. But I don't see a game.
First off, I don't know why people are complaining about Xenoblade in the first place, because half the people who are complaining about Xenoblade have probably never played the first one.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's not Shulk, they're like, oh, it's not Shulk, I don't want to play Xenoblade. They're like, you only know about Shulk because it's Super Smash Brothers. Cut it out. Stop it. Give the game a chance before you rip it. It's not even out yet.
Yeah, 100 hours though plus of gameplay.
That's great.
And
That's the kind of thing I want in a game.
Yeah,
I want a game that's gonna make me waste my life to play it.
Zelda hopefully can live up to that hype too.
The Zelda's coming out too.
And you know what it is too? Zelda has to make up for Skyward Sword because it was so dumb having this grand stages that you only basically was like 5 big dungeons that you went to twice. And that's really what it was.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. And they're promising like the big giant overworld, and you can run in the grass and everything, and it's so cool. But can it deliver? That's the other thing too.
We'll find out, I guess.
And that's the thing too. If Nintendo can't deliver on that, and what are the other games going to have to deliver on? It's just going to be we have to depend on Call of Duty, Assassin's Creed, and GTA all the time.
Well, I think for Nintendo's side, we're looking at Xenoblade coming up, Zelda coming up, and Star Fox coming up.
Mm-hmm.
If these 3 games disappoint, then the future of gaming is ruined.
Yeah, I guess.
That's about it.
Yeah. So let us know what you think about gaming and how it is today. Just give us a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff on our Twitters as well, which we'll probably put on the bottom of the screen or something. I don't even feel like saying it in this video. Whatever. You guys can read. But we'll continue another discussion after this.
Yeah.